Facing the press and the public, Vladimir Putin spoke about the situation in Syria for the first time since the fall of the Assad regime. He said the lightning military victory for Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HCS, wasn't a defeat for Russia, despite Russian troops fighting with Assad's forces since 2015. Instead, he said Russia's aim had been to stop the creation of a so-called terrorist enclave in Syria, and that had been successful.
We really hope that there will be peace and tranquility there. We maintain relations with all groups that control the situation there, with all the countries in the region. The overwhelming number of them tell us that they will be interested in our military bases remaining in Syria.
Speaking about the Ukraine conflict, Putin said Russia was getting closer to achieving its goals as its forces continued to advance. But according to the president, there would be no truce, as it would allow Ukraine to regain a foothold in their positions. The Kremlin is ready for negotiations with Ukraine without preconditions, but he said taking into account the realities on the ground. But he didn't give any specific concessions that Russia would be ready to make.
We have always said that we are ready for negotiations and compromises. It's just that the opposite side literally has refused to negotiate. But we are always ready for this. Negotiations always result in compromises.
Putin promised Russia would push out Ukrainian forces out of its Kursk region.
We will restore the road network, municipal infrastructure, social and educational facilities, and certificates for housing restoration will also be issued.
Putin said he had no regrets in starting the military campaign against Ukraine in 2022. In fact, he said it should have started earlier. Many questions sent to Putin were about this special military operation in Ukraine, its progress and when it might end. But even after 4.5 hours of talk from the president, those questions remained unanswered. Yulia, Shapovalova, Al Jazeera, Moscow.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.